Hello, and welcome back to the Richard Taliaferro podcast, where we take a look at career insights and give advice to career changers. I've been training for a half marathon, and here's what keeps surprising me. My knees feel stronger than they have in years. Stronger, not weaker. But ask a non runner, and they'll tell you about how I'm destroying my joints. And this got me thinking about the career truths that we've accepted without question. The warnings that sound like wisdom, but might actually be fear dressed up in a three-piece suit. Today, I want to give you permission to question those myths because you already have the wisdom to see through them. You just need to trust what you know. When I was at the Wall Street Journal, I carried a collection of career myths like stones in my pockets. Journalists can't transition to other fields. Starting over at 40 means losing your credibility. Real professionals stay the course. These weren't just thoughts. They were chains that kept me tethered to a desk when my soul was already halfway out the door. And maybe you know that feeling too. Here is something I've learned about those kinds of myths. They feel like protection, like a warm blanket on a cold morning. They give us perfectly logical reasons to stay still when movement feels very risky. But, and this is where my running practice comes in, the very thing we think will hurt us often becomes our source of strength. Think about this for a moment. Every professional who successfully pivoted their career started by questioning just one truth they had accepted. They didn't overthrow their entire belief system overnight. They didn't become a different person. They just tested one assumption. Let me share some of the myths that I hear most often, and more importantly, what actually happens when you challenge them. You can't leave after 40. And I'm afraid this one simply isn't true. Your experience becomes your differentiator, not your deficit. Those 20 years you invested are your competitive advantage and not your burden. You're not starting over, you're starting ahead. And starting over means losing everything. It's another one. And the reality is, you carry every skill, every connection, every lesson forward. Your foundation travels with you, making you stronger in the new space and not weaker. Following your passion doesn't pay. Here's what I have seen. When you actually care about the outcome, excellence becomes natural. And when excellence becomes natural, opportunities have this funny way of finding you. And here's my favorite. Loyalty gets rewarded. Unfortunately, strategic moves often accelerate growth more than tenure ever could. While you're waiting for recognition in your current job, somebody else just negotiated a 30% pay increase by switching companies. And what's interesting, and where this gets really fascinating, is how these myths persist most strongly among people who've never tested them. The people most convinced that running destroys your knees, those people are rarely runners themselves. The professionals who are most certain that career change is impossible after 40, those people are usually watching from the safety of jobs they've never left. So, what actually happens when you start challenging these career myths? Based on what I've seen, here's what becomes possible. Your network grows because suddenly you're having more interesting conversations. Your skills become more valuable because you finally see that they do transfer. And your confidence grows. I mean, really grows because you're writing your own story instead of reading from somebody else's script. You don't have to revolutionize your career entirely by tomorrow. Instead, start with one myth that's been whispering in your ear. Maybe it's, I'm too specialized to change fields. Maybe it's good jobs don't exist anymore. Or maybe it's that persistent voice saying, I should be grateful and stop wanting more. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to find one person who's proven that myth wrong. Not some celebrity success story, but somebody real and somebody accessible. And send them a note. Ask what actually happened when they challenged that belief. Listen to what surprised them and notice what became possible. Just like my knees got stronger with every training run, your career confidence builds when you challenge what's always been true. So, what career truth have you accepted without testing it? What would change for you if that myth wasn't true? You've already taken the first step by listening to this podcast, and thank you. You're questioning things, and that takes courage. Now, let's build on that momentum. Send me a note. Tell me which myth you're ready to challenge. Maybe you need someone to confirm that your instincts are right. Maybe you want to know how others have made their change. Either way, I'm here for that conversation. This is the work that works. Questioning what we've been told, testing what's actually true, and finding our own path forward. You can find out more at richardtaliaferro.com. Until next time, remember, every person who successfully changed their career started exactly where you are right now. If you're searching for work that works for you, I invite you to go to richardtaliaferro.com and schedule a complimentary call with me, and let's talk about it. Thanks for listening, and talk to you next week.